Let's get started here with an agile methodology called Scrum. It is a very popular agile methodology. Scrum uses a sprint-based approach to product management, so where the team work in sprints to deliver value. So we have sprint 1 here, we have sprint 2 here, and we have sprint 3 here. And a sprint takes about 2 to 4 weeks depending on the size or scope of the project. So the team come together, they work in this sprint, they deliver value or values as it were. They go back and do a retrospective, they talk about the last sprint, they learn from it and they improve, and they come into another sprint where they also deliver set of values or value as it were. So they continue building in sprint. So Scrum is a sprint based approach to product management where you work in either incremental or iterative cycles to produce results. So this promotes adaptability and a swift in response to changes, creating a collaborative environment that fosters transparency, continuous improvement, and customer satisfaction. Though originally designed for software development, so Scrum was originally developed for software development projects, that is software development products, applications, web, mobile, desktop applications, and what have we. But it has been incorporated into other agile projects, like even building projects, process improvement, and a whole lot. And some bring the flavor of Scrum into project management or agile project management into the traditional project management, and they call it the hybrid. So they bring a kind of a flow from the agile using the Scrum, and they use some bits of the traditional, and they call that an hybrid. So enjoying the benefits of both methodologies. So there are 3 blocks to agile framework, and these are the roles, the ceremonies, and the artifacts. So the roles in agile are the people who are essential to every team. Among other things, they look after the business perspectives, speed delivery, and technical proficiency. So the roles are the people, what the people do. Each person in the Scrum team has a role, and the role is assigned to these people who do the job in the Scrum team, and they do this in order to carry out the ceremonies with the artifacts, that's the information that is being provided. So what is a ceremony? A ceremony are the events, they are the activities that the people involved in a Scrum agile project management carry out, and they do this by following a set of documents or information called an artifact. So artifacts are measurable documents that provide both strategic and tactical direction to the team members, to the guys that are in the Scrum roles, as we said earlier. These are the 3 building blocks of Scrum, the 3 building blocks that makes up the Scrum framework. The first of our building block for all Scrum practices is roles. People are responsible for the success of each iteration of the project. They have a core role. They are involved in producing a product or service and are fully committed to the project. So what are the roles in a Scrum team? We have the product owner, we have the Scrum master, and we have the development team. We also have the non-core roles. These are people who are not part of the Scrum team, but they have an interest in the project. These are stakeholders. They could be internal or external stakeholders. These are the users or customers that will be using what is being built, or the vendors. So they are non-core role users who are not part of the Scrum team, but they have an interest in the projects. Let's start with the product owner. The product owner is responsible for articulating the requirements of the customer and is regarded as being the customer's voice in the team. So when the team meets, there is this person called the product owner who speaks for the customer, who speaks for the user. So he or she goes out and meets the user and comes back to the team and communicates what the user wants or what the user is saying to the team. So he is like a person who stands in between the team and the customer or users, as it were. So let's look at in details what this person does. So it's a challenging decision maker role. The product owner is empowered and has product acumen and some business acumen. In addition to this, they have the ability to build consensus in the team. They represent the voice of the customer, user, and they are responsible for articulating the customer's requirement to the development team. The product owner is also responsible for ensuring the product achieves maximum customer value. There is one product owner per Scrum team. So for every Scrum team, there is just one product owner who represents the customer, who is the customer's voice to the team. And all it does is make sure the right future, the right value is being delivered. So whilst we are working, it comes in representing the customer or the user. And if we are doing something different or we plan to do something different other than what the user wants now, maybe what we are doing is what the user may not necessarily need now or meets the user at the point of their needs now. The person says, no, my last meeting with the users shows that they want this future more importantly and desperately than this we're about to work on. Hey guys, can we work on this? So is there, she's there to make sure the team is working on what the user really wants, and that is the product owner. And we have just one product owner in every Scrum team. So what are the responsibilities and tasks of the product owner? The product owner creates and shares main goal and plans for the product. So he has the original plan from the user, he shares it with the team, we discuss, we collaborate during the sprint planning. He also decides which tasks are most important and keeps the task list organized. So there is a list of tasks, there's a list of values, there's a list of features, functionalities to be delivered, to be deployed, to be built, and this is the person who lists them. He prioritizes them, he categorizes them, and make sure the team are working on what needs to be done at the right time. Now, he also explains what needs to be done with the user stories and check the work when it is finished. So from epics, to futures, to user story, to the tasks, this person makes sure that the task that is being worked on goes and aligns with the user stories that has been developed. In a bit, we'll look more about the user story. Now, it also solves problems that might block progress. So maybe there is an issue with understanding what the user really wants. It goes back to the user, gets clarification, comes back to the team, clarify, and the team can move on with developing what the users or customers want. Now, he participates in the Scrum meetings. Yes, the activities, the ceremonies that is being carried out in the Scrum team, like daily stand-up, like the sprint planning, the sprint review, the sprint retrospective. We'll talk about this in a bit. So he participates in all of these events and activities. Now, he works with other team members too to make sure the product is being delivered on time. He or she helps the development team understand what's needed so they can deliver great results. Sometimes whilst developing, developers might encounter some issues that may take their focus off what to be delivered. So this person comes in because he or she speaks to the customer directly. He or she interacts with the customer directly. So he comes back and make clarification so that the developers or the development team can get back on track and make sure that value is being delivered. So that is that for the product owner. Now let's move to the second role, which is the Scrum Master. The Scrum Master is known as a servant leader. They ensure the team has the support they need to work productively and efficiently. So this is one person. Every Scrum team also has one Scrum Master, and what it does is he is like the project manager in the Scrum team. So in the Agile environment, you call them Agile project manager. In the traditional environment, you call them project managers. But in the Scrum team, which is an Agile framework, they are called the Scrum Masters. And what are their roles? Scrum Master is a dedicated role, and as an equal partner within the team, the Scrum Master is a facilitator who ensures that the development team has the support they need to continue working productively to complete the project. The Scrum Master is also a guide teaching Scrum practices to everyone involved in the project. So after this training now, when you get a job, or if you get a job in a Scrum team, and you have not really done anything about Scrum before, so it is the servant leader's responsibility, who is the Scrum Master, to train you on what is being done and how it is being done in Scrum. So you have someone there who teaches, who facilitates everything that happened within the Scrum team. So this is a person who is not only responsible for everyone using Scrum effectively, but also for the health of the team. Maybe a team member is not feeling fine and cannot work, so this person comes in, he communicates this to the product owner, whilst the product owner communicates that to the customers or the business owners, that please, there will be a little bit of delay because we are experiencing one or two challenges within the team. So is there to care for the team, is there to encourage the team and make them and help them productive. And there is only one Scrum Master, just like the product owner, in every Scrum team. What are the roles and responsibilities of this one person called the Scrum Master, who is a servant leader to the team? He organizes and leads the meeting to plan the work sprint. So this person organizes the sprint activities, just as I said earlier. Like, you have the sprint planning, where you come and plan what would be done in that sprint. You also have like the sprint review, you have the sprint retrospective, and you meet daily to talk about the project. So this is the one person who organizes all of this meeting. He makes sure the development team work well and stays focused. He also works to make the team work better together and streamline how things are being done. If there's an argument or disagreement, between the team members, this is a person who comes to resolve the issue and make sure everyone is happy. He deals with or tells the product owner about the problems the team are facing. Just as we said earlier, he interface with the product owner. The product owner goes back and interface with the business owners or the customers or users, as it were. It keeps the team free from outside distraction that could slow them down. So maybe there is an issue with the stakeholders, there's an issue with the vendor, there's an issue maybe integrating an API with third party. So this person tells the team member working on that module or that future. Don't worry, I will get it sorted. Just keep working. So he goes meets the vendor, he goes meets the merchant, he goes meet the third party company, he resolves the issue and comes back and said, okay, issue resolved, keep working. So it keeps them away from any distraction that could, or external influences that would disturb their productivity. So it figures out how much work the team can handle. So for instance, there is a kind of estimation, work valuation that is being done when user stories are broken into tasks. So the Scrum Master meets with the development team and they talk about how long it will take, for each of the tasks to be done and delivered. So is there doing work estimation time with them. So it also makes sure the team takes part in all the important Scrum meetings. Maybe the last time somebody couldn't attend the daily stand-up, which is not encouraged in Scrum, the Scrum Master meets with the person, knows why the person wasn't there, and try to encourage the person that it is important. Tell the person the importance of attending the Agile ceremonies, like the daily stand-up. So that is that for that one person in the Scrum team. So we have the development team. The development team is a multi-talented group of people who come from different functions and have a variety of skills. So these are self-organizing, multi-talented guys, and they come together. They are from different backgrounds. So you could have a product designer, you could have a front-end engineer, you could have a back-end engineer, you could have a DevOps engineer, you could have a tester. So you have different guys from different backgrounds coming together to work on the product, to work on a project. And what are the roles of these multi-talented guys? The development team usually consists of around 5 to 9 people, in some instances 4 to 12 people, depending on the scope of the project, and they are empowered and skilled to organize and manage themselves when developing the defined requirements. So they are self-organizing. It means they know what to do, they know when to do it, and they know how to do it. Now they are cross-functional and cross-skilled, so they can do many things. So you can see one person who is also talented and understands how front end works and is also a back end engineer. That doesn't make him the back end engineer, but he understands it. So anything the front end engineer is doing, he understands, and he can synchronize what he is doing as a back-end engineer, or he can work smoothly with that person because they all understand what each of them are doing. They are multi-talented guys and they care about the development and quality of the output. The development team balances the quality of the deliverables with the definition and the resources per sprint. So they all know the definition of done. So at what point are we going to say this task from the user story is done? So the product guy knows, that is the product design guy knows what is expected from the back end guy. The back end guy knows what is expected from the product guys. So at every point they know what the definition of done is for the quality of what is meant to be developed, deployed, and delivered to the customers. And what are their responsibilities and tasks? They do the work, turning what is needed into what is made. They understand what the product owner wants, that is what the customer wants, but they don't necessarily see the customers, but they see the product owner, who is the voice of the customer. In some instances, the customers could be invited for sprint review, but at that point they are not coming to talk about what they need again. They are coming to test what the team has done. So they understand what the product owner wants, that is what the user or customer wants through the product owner, and they understand what to be done with the user story and make or break it into smaller tasks. So user stories are broken into tasks to be worked on by the development team. They design and make the products, starting with a basic version and improving it over time. So when you start work, the first thing you want to do is you create an MVP, just as we have talked earlier, which is a smaller version of the old product. So you keep on improving that minimum viable product in each sprint until you get a better and bigger picture of the overall product to be built, as we said earlier. Now let's have a bit of exercise about what we have just talked about. There is one of these for each Scrum team. They represent the voice of the customer and bring the business perspective to a Scrum team. Who is that person? Kindly type the correct answer in the comments below. A product owner. B, a Scrum master. I choose A. If that is what you chose, write in the comment section below that my answer was right. Great. The second question, the person with the role may have an interest in the project without playing an active part. It may be a stakeholder, a vendor, or a customer. A, Scrum Master. B, non-core role. Type in your own answer in the comments below. Have you done that? Great. I choose B. If that is what you chose, write in your comments, reply in your comments saying, I got it right. Great. The third question, this role is responsible for using the requirements to design and build the project increments. A, the product owner. B, the development team. So write in the comment section below what you think the right answer is. Have you done that? Great. I will choose B. If that is what you chose, reply your answer and say I got it right. Wow. The fourth question. The role is an equal partner and is responsible for improving processes and communication. This role also manages, removes, or escalates any impediment to progress. A Scrum Master. B, a product owner. Type in the comment section below what you think the correct answer is. Have you done that? Great. So I will choose A. If that is what you chose, reply your answer and say I got it right.